Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's football show. It's Wednesday. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you for watching the programme. With me on the show today, Alan Rough and Barry Ferguson, ready to talk about all the trials and tribulations associated with our game. Yep, the stories just keep coming with Scottish football. Yesterday on the programme, Roughie, we had a good chat about the Kilmarnock owner, Billy Bowie, the main chairman of the club, mentioning the fact he's going to cut the allocation for both Celtic and Rangers, and highlighted the fact that the Killie fans feel intimidated by the travelling support. We've spoken to our own supporters about it, and there is a feeling that they are indeed intimidated when the Old Firm sides come to Rugby Park. So we've decided what we want to do is create an environment for them on match days where they feel absolutely safe. We want them to feel comfortable bringing their families to any Kilmarnock game, and that has not always been the case. After the last game against one of the Old Firm, we realised this was something that we had to discuss. We want to celebrate what our own club has achieved on the last day of the season, but this is the model we plan to use going forward. Well, Billy Bowie is perfectly entitled to do what he wants with his club and their allocation. Long term though, I wonder if he'll be able to maintain that attitude.
I don't think he will. I think the Kilmarnock supporters will be more than happy with that statement out there. Looking after your own fans is always a good thing, particularly when you've had a successful season. I think they'll buy into that. Long term, there's no guarantee that Kilmarnock are going to be where they are year on year. So at the end of the day, they will need the Rangers and Celtic supporters' money to survive. There's no doubt about that. I mean, every club in Scotland relies on Rangers and Celtic bringing large crowds and the money that goes with it. So it's a bold move, but I think in light of where Kilmarnock are just now, their fans will be happy.
Yeah, he said he was, prompted into this by the coin throwing at Chris Boyd and of course some of the bigoted chants. His manager, Steve Clarke, has come out and he's been fairly vociferous in his condemnation of what goes on between Celtic and Rangers fans at grounds. But I just wonder, if Steve Clarke goes and they hit a rough patch. I've been at Kilmarnock when they've had really good teams and they still can't fill the stadium.
Yeah, well, there is a difference certainly since Steve Clarke's took over, that the fan base has risen. The attendances are up. It's just when they weren't doing so well, they did rely on Rangers and Celtic bringing thousands and thousands of fans down that motorway, and it was Kilmarnock were benefiting from financially. So, listen, he's entitled to do what he wants. Do I think it will last? I don't know. That depends on Kilmarnock doing well in the league. I know they've done really well last season. They're doing ever so well this season. But again, what if they hit a poor bit of form? Form goes out the window, the fans turn up.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Especially for big games when you get Celtic and Rangers down 4 times in the season. And let's not forget, Hearts and Hibs and Aberdeen can carry big supports along the way as well. I sometimes become exasperated, Roughie, when I think of the lunacy that's going on in Scottish football. If you were coming down from another planet, you'd look and wonder what we're all about in this country.
Yeah, it's just one thing after another, and I have to say it's not just Kilmarnock have done it. Most of the Rangers of Celtic have done it, Hibs have done it, Hearts have done it. They've looked after their own fans by, cutting a segment of the crowd down.
Yeah, but they've also backtracked.
Yeah,
Hibs backtracked.
But they tried it on. They tried it on to see if they would get away with it. It's obviously common sense kicked in, because we all want stadiums to be full. We all want, both sets of fans there, adding to the football, the banter of the game and everything And it just kills the game for me, because there's no guarantee that when that game comes round it's going to be full.
Yeah, I think the sensible people on football boards in the Scottish Premiership should get round the table at the end of this season and start talking about doing positive things for the game, and stop being petty and pandering to sections of their supporters who clearly do not have a grip on reality, and try and look for the benefit of the game. Get people into the game. Get lots of people into the game. Stop getting to this situation where you've got 99% of the stand full of your own supporters. You know, that's all right when it's going well, as Barry's mentioned as well, but, you know, for example, the Old Firm game, it's lost its sparkle, it's lost its edge.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think anybody watching the game will see that. It might look good for a distance that the stadium's full of the home support, but I think if you look at most games who have a spectacular theme to it, it's two sets of supporters.
Yeah, we quickly move on to Celtic won't be fined over the bigoted chants. This is towards Derek McInnes. This is because Celtic held talks with the Green Brigade before the semi-final, and the compliance officer is not going to take action because they obviously took all reasonably practicable steps to prevent disorder from the fans. Now, the Green Brigade is one section of that ground, but there were other sections singing that song. This is a case of, I think, you know, clubs looking to see how they can get away with things on a technicality. Yeah,
look, fair play to Celtic, obviously, holding the meeting with the Green Brigade. Obviously, there's chants that have been coming out of there. They've obviously been in trouble before, but as you say, it was from a different section of the stand, so it wasn't nice. It's creeped back in when I've been watching games on TV. I don't like it, whether it's sectarianism, racism, missiles. It's a part of the game this season that's let the football down.
Yeah.
Because the football's actually been half decent for me. I've actually enjoyed watching it, but all this stuff off the pitch is not helping.
Yep, okay, we move on to a man who's possibly, if he was reading all the newspapers, would be wondering if he was going to an SFA board meeting tomorrow to find out if he's still in a job. Roughie, there is a board meeting, the SFA. Alex McLeish, the Scotland manager, will turn up there. I'd be gobsmacked if they came out and said they've sacked him.
Yeah, I would be as well, and I think Alec would be as well. I think if there was anything going to be done, it would have been done after the two games. That wasn't the case. I think tomorrow will just be for the upcoming games, you know, what the plans are. But Alec will know, he doesn't need anybody to tell him. The pressure is now on. The pressure is now on game to game. We need to get a good result against Cyprus, a positive display against Belgium, and try and pick up some points.
Yeah, I still think the SFA are at fault for not nipping in the bud the story that he was on the verge of the sack, and I'd be keen to hear what Ian Maxwell or Rod Petrie, who you never hear speaking about anything at the SFA, and Alan McRae, I'd love to hear what they've got to say about letting that whole story ride out and it was like a media circus all jumping on it, and we're guilty of it too.
Yeah, first of all, I'd be absolute shocked if they did sack him. I think if they were going to do it, they should have done it straight after the game, if that was crossing their mind. But I'm with you with the article coming out. It was a surprise, no I wasn't, that nobody came out and actually says something. You've got Alex sitting there wondering what's going on. There's obviously rumours flying about, newspaper articles going about. I think they've got a lot to answer for the SFA.
Yeah, as far as the games are concerned, and we'll look back, it'll be a difficult time for him to try and talk out of Kazakhstan and San Marino. But I look and I think we've got some not bad players coming through, Roughie.
Yeah, we said that even before the Kazakhstan game. I thought we had young players who were all playing at the top of their game with their clubs, but it never happened for them. I still think we're definitely not the finished article. I think we've still got a few places to fill in, but we can't rely on these young guys just turning it in and out, you know, every game, you know, and pulling us out a hole. I just think we have to wait. I think we're a year or two away for these young guys reaching their full potential.
I look at the squad, right? You've got the two young left backs, pretty experienced for their age. Robertson playing Champions League, Tierney's playing Europa League this year. He's played plenty of Champions League games.
Yeah.
McGregor, the same. McGinn, McTominay. We've got decent players.
Yep, okay. You can give us your thoughts on that as well. Alex McLeish, should he be continuing? We certainly think he'll be in the job as Scotland manager for the Cyprus game, but stranger things have happened. Okay, coming up, we'll look at John Souttar. Is he one of the best central defenders in Scotland? We're also going to talk Champions League after this question. You can always tell when clubs are possibly looking at one of their sellable assets and thinking, how much can we get for him? Suddenly, Craig Levein saying John Souttar is one of the best central defenders in Scotland. I have to say, I like him. I like the fact that he comes out of the back and he looks assured as well. As a Scot, you know, I'm enthused by him.
I'll be honest, I wasn't sure of him last season. I think this season he's got better physically. He looks a lot stronger. In the games I've seen, he's certainly impressed and he's going in the right direction. And I think he can be the next one to push to get into that Scotland team or get a bigger move. Because as I says, I think he's got everything. He's a ball-playing centre back. And also he's got the added bit to it. He's playing with Berra, who's experienced, who's helped him along, and he's learning the hard side of the game. I'm talking about the physical side, winning the headers, because the football side takes care of itself for me. Yeah. Very good footballer. So again, he's really impressed me this season. He's a boy I certainly think that can go to a higher level. Yeah,
we're crying out for somebody to come into that Scotland squad at the places I think we are weakest. Two central defenders, you know, that I'm looking at. I'm thinking, you know, we need somebody else to come in alongside McKenna. McKenna, I still think, has got a huge learning curve this season coming up again. And then I'm looking and thinking the other weakness is centre forward for me, just getting goal scorers, Roughie. The midfield, fine, there's so many.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But again, it's a bold statement for Craig, saying he's the best centre half. And I'm thinking through the centre halves in Scotland, and I think we've only got about three decent ones, so it wouldn't be hard to be the best one.
Yeah, so well, hang on.
Well,
from a Scottish perspective,
Scottish point of view,
McKenna, Souttar.
Give me some more.
so you actually don't know the third one.
No, I'm saying I'm sure there will be another one, but I can't remember any more.
Okay, so he hasn't got much competition.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah, he's a good player, but he has definitely improved.
Not a good player, but the statement he's thrown out is not a hard one to.
Okay, strangely enough, I think one of the best centre halves in the country, and certainly got the potential to be a super player, is Christopher Ajer. And he's not Scottish, but I think when you look at the centre halves who are coming on, who are youngsters, he's 22, I think.
Yep, but he's another one that's impressed me. I think he done the right thing and fair play to him. He went down to Kilmarnock with Big Lee when Lee was manager.
I think he's 21.
Yeah, so he's went down, he's went out, and he's played first team football, and he's come back, and he's fought his way into a good Celtic side, and again, he has impressed me with the games that I've seen.
Yeah, comes out well with the ball at the back, Roughie. I mean, in the modern game and the way it's going, you're looking for ball-playing centre halves as well as having, as Barry said, that physical edge to it.
Yeah, well, it's building up to the back. You know, if you've not got a centre half that's comfortable on the ball, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, we spoke to Gordon Strachan down at Wembley, and that was one of his main problems, that the two centre halves weren't comfortable on the ball. You know, so it's a massive problem in the modern day football if you're not comfortable on the ball. I mean, the foreigners have been doing it for ages. I mean, we've been seeing like Brazilian centre halves, pulling down like goal kicks out of the air with their chest and then volleying it up. I mean, it's just they're way ahead of us. It's unreal. It's just
the art of defending. But if I'm looking at a centre back, the first thing I would think, can he header the ball? Can he tackle? Can he defend?
Yeah,
it's a bonus if he can play.
Yeah.
So we're all talking about these centre backs, good ball players. Defend first.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Roughie would know a centre half if you stood him in front of him, because he didn't even like Carlos Puyol, and he's got 3 Champions League winners, a World Cup winners medal, and a European Championship medal. Hold on a minute, he's played against him. Give Roughie an education.
I was actually shocked when I stood beside him in the tunnel. He's only 5'9", 5'10".
See?
But what a player!
That's not the criticism.
Listen, he could win anything there. Aggressive, so aggressive, but also the bonus was he could play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Roughie, there's great news for you. You haven't obviously been informed of this yet, but let me tell you, on the basis that you take holidays whenever you want, which is mid-season, who cares if there's still games on? But there's a winter there's a winter break which has been retained. The key dates have been released for obviously the SPFL across all 4 divisions. There's a winter break. I like the fact that they have the winter break. I think it's 30th of December to the 17th of January. It has been retained. Good?
Well, it's good. Are you saying the Championship are going to... because the Championship don't take it?
No,
the SPFL.
I'm only talking about you organising your schedule of life.
Oh, yes. No, I think everybody needs a break in the winter.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. So I like it for the players to recharge the batteries.
It happened
I'm just thinking about myself.
It happened a way back, I think it was early 2000s that the winter break came in, and I tell you, I felt the benefit of getting a couple of weeks off. We got, I think, 10 days off, and then we went away and done a mini pre-season. So you see, look, some players get the benefit of it, no doubt.
Absolutely. Going to talk about Champions League. I'm going to talk about the football on the pitch. I've got to talk about Ajax. It's absolutely unbelievable. I tipped Juventus to go through, but suddenly Ajax, after going to the Bernabeu and knocking out Real Madrid, they go over to Turin and say good night to the grand old lady Juventus, and it was a masterclass.
It was. I never thought they would have done it. I thought Juve might have sneaked it last night, but listen, you've got to applaud what a performance it was. Some of the players they've got, the way they play football, the energy levels, everything about them. It was a top class performance against a top class team. Yeah. Don't forget, Juventus are a top team.
Yeah, listen to this, by the way. Onana, 135,000, that's the goalkeeper. Veltman and De Ligt are academy players. Daley Blind, obviously they bought from Manchester United, 14.4 million. Mazraoui is the academy player. Shauna, they got on a free. De Jong, 9 million from Willem II. Van de Beek is an academy player. And then Ziyech, 9.9 million. Tadic, 10.25. And Neres, 10.8 million. They've spent £54.5 million, which is not a huge amount in comparison to all the other quarter-finalists, Roughie, but still, it's a fair whack.
Might win that Champions League. I don't know if it's going to be this year, because Barcelona are still there.
Yeah, absolutely, but there's a nice little Dutch connection to it. Ajax, obviously, when you look back at Rinus Michels, and then of course the Dutch philosophy passed on, Johan Cruyff, you've got Barcelona still in there, you've got Pep Guardiola, who's clearly a protege of Cruyff, and he's now at Man City as well. That style of football still continues to excite people, so they go through. Barcelona 3, Man United 0. Messi was just outrageous, wasn't he?
What can you say about that guy? Just a little genius, simple as that. His 2 goals, great. I have never seen a better player than him.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's the best.
Darren Fletcher said actually United should look to do what Ajax are doing and invest in the youth, Roughie, and maybe let 1 or 2 years go before they rebuild again, the way Fergie used to do it with the class of 92 and beyond with young players. Yeah,
but you've got to have that crop of young players waiting to break through.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big problem, and will supporters buy into a big team not being as successful as what they were? So you've got to have the players. I would go along with that if I knew the players were coming through.
Yeah, okay. Man City, Tottenham. It's a 1-0 advantage at the moment. Where are you going?
Oh, Man City.
Yeah?
I think Man City will do it.
By a couple?
Yep, 2-3-0, I think. I think they're too strong at home, too strong for Tottenham. Good team, with some top players obviously missing their main man, Harry Kane. I think Man City will have too much for them tonight.
Yeah, I think Man City as well. I've got the big players for the big nights, and I think they've got more than Tottenham, and I think tonight they'll shine through.
Yeah, okay. And Porto against Liverpool. It's a 2-0 advantage at the moment. Porto looked as if they were heading out and then managed to do the same to Roma last season. Can they do this to Liverpool?
No, I think, again, Liverpool, too much quality. I think they'll be under the cosh a wee bit tonight, but listen, I've got a big man at the back who does Strolls games, Big Van Dijk. He's got the cigar out every single time I watch him.
Yeah, draw or a win?
I think they'll just... No, I don't think they'll get beat. Either a draw or a win for Liverpool.
Okay, Roughie, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I think a draw as well. I think Liverpool have got enough to see this one out.
Just out of curiosity, because obviously Atletico Madrid are out and Juventus are now out, do we all have another pick?
Okay, I'll go Barcelona.
Yeah, right. We'll have a think about it and then we'll get ready for it on Friday. Simple as that. You can give us your thoughts on who you think is going to win the Champions League. Slowly but surely there's a few shocks on the cards. What one will you be watching tonight? Man City against Tottenham or Porto Liverpool? Thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.